Each and every time it started with a deep yearning to help someone, a heartfelt sparkle, a dream. It might have been a dream to provide wellness checkups for babies or even a place for families to stay when their child was gravely ill. Maybe it was a hope to train children how to escape the ravages of a fire, or a vision to help heal families and children involved in child abuse and neglect cases. The dream may have been to help feed the hungry, both young and old. Or maybe it is a new desire to mentor middle school girls about life's ups and downs. Any of these dreams, each of these visions have come to fruition because of you. You make up one of the largest caring, giving, and committed organizations in Lubbock. That organization is our Junior League of Lubbock.
The Well Baby Clinic started in 1939. The Junior Welfare League of Lubbock, which is now the Junior League of Lubbock, started it as its first community project because they had determined there was a need in the community for well baby checks. In 1976, when I was a provisional, Well Baby Clinic was one of the projects staffed by provisionals. We had to be out here at 6 o'clock in the morning, and sometimes we did clerical work, and sometimes we held the babies, and sometimes we helped the doctors by handing them supplies. Everybody was a volunteer, including the doctors, including the nurses, and we were full every time I came. Now it's called the Lubbock Children's Health Clinic. 75 years later, I felt like I was doing such a service to help families who really had nowhere else to go. It was a wonderful training experience and a wonderful heartwarming experience.
Oh my goodness, not only am I bringing my children, my grandkids, my great-grandkids, my daughter's got her kids coming here. I knew there was something wrong with him. He wouldn't focus, he wouldn't look at you, wouldn't talk. We had trouble feeding him. I brought him to Roxanne, and the first time she looked at him, she checked him, and she said, Delia, he's got CP. They let me know everything. I have so much confidence, I trust them completely.
I delivered meals for about 4 years. It was before I got involved with Meals on Wheels through Junior League. I later served on the Meals on Wheels board as a Junior League representative. Well, first of all, it's such a humbling experience because you do meet people who they need so much. The one that touched me probably the deepest was a man that he was a World War II vet, and he lived alone in an old house, and he met me at the door one day, and the next thing I know, we're talking, but he's eating. We're standing in the doorway, and he's eating the meal that I just brought him. He didn't even wait to sit down. He just started eating it. That touched my heart because he was hungry. One of my favorite quotes is, those who are given much, much is expected.
I get a good, hot, well-cooked meal every day, but Meals on Wheels is a lot more than that. Someone comes to see me every day, somebody that actually cares if I'm alive. A volunteer does something not for pay, but because their heart's in it, and you can tell. These people that deliver on a volunteer basis are there because they care about you, and it shows. I have a life because of Meals on Wheels, and you can trace that back to the Junior League.
Meals on Wheels every day, 5 days a week. They're the nicest and friendliest people I believe I've ever met. No, I didn't know who started, but I sure do thank them for getting it started.
Our son was diagnosed literally within a day. I took him to the doctor for an ear infection, and by the time I got home, he said, you have an appointment at Texas Children's Hospital tonight. And he told me what we were dealing with, and it was acute lymphocytic leukemia. Then when we went down to start chemotherapy is when they signed us up with the Ronald House. Just knowing someone, you could talk to and that they understood was what was so special. Didn't pass till 84. They decided that they were going to build one, and they did the research and they talked to McDonald's, and of course we had some awesome support from our McDonald's around here. And it was literally built on $25 and $50, and it was amazing what built this house. It really was. I was just so proud of Lubbock for doing what they did, and in the league especially. Taking on, it was an enormous project, and they decided they wanted one, and they did it, and it was awesome.
We came to the hospital and had our twin boys, and we thought everything was going to be great, that we were going to take them home. They were full term. Caleb just didn't adjust to the idea of eating after he was born, and so we ended up having to leave the hospital and leave him behind. But at least I didn't have to go home. You know, at least I could come here and I could go back and forth to the Ronald McDonald House, to the hospital, and not ever walk through the doors of my house until I had both of them. It was great. I mean, you know, to be able to stay here and be so close, you know, that was just really a blessing.
Our main role at the Children's Advocacy Center is to interview children who've been abused or traumatized for investigators from law enforcement or CPS. About 90% of our cases involve sexual abuse allegations. The other 10% are either long-term physical abuse cases or cases where children have witnessed crimes like suicides, homicides, kidnappings, domestic violence, drugs in the home, internet pornography, things like that. Junior League has stayed involved with us. Every year I have volunteers that help with our Yellow Dino program. I have volunteers that help with what we call Therapy Watch. It's heart-touching to know that the children matter as much to the Junior League as they do to myself and my staff here at the Children's Advocacy Center.
We got involved with the Advocacy Center when my child was involved in a sexual assault from a family member. At the time, she was 6, and she didn't know anything about what was going on to her. We met all these wonderful people that helped us through some very, very bad, hard times. She's a straight A student at school. She's very, very smart, and she's real athletic. She knows that when we came here, we came on a mission to try to get over it, and we did. And coming here, probably one of the best things that ever happened to us.
It got started because I was watching a TV show called The Home Show. I just thought, you know, this really needs to happen in Lubbock, Texas. The whole idea was to teach the children how to get out of a burning house. And a month after we built this house, there was a young girl who had gone through this, who saved herself and her brother from a burning home. It was a mobile home, but that's what it's all about. And we were actually trying to put a pencil to it, how many children had gone through the home, and came up with around 80,000. I'm very proud. The Junior League changed my life.
And at first, it was just my job. About a year or two after it, I really started sinking my teeth into the purpose behind it, and the meaning. I started to hang out with the kids and the teachers, and I really started to see the bigger picture. When we first pull up, it's important that we talk to the entire group. So we spend about 30 minutes introducing while we're there, talking about the 5 stations, which are 5 topics that they need to remember, and it's very important that they listen. And then, for the next hour or 2, it's what you just saw in the background.
It definitely feels surreal when they said the fire safety house is coming next week, and we all get to go through it. And I was like, wait, is that the same one I did when I was in 2nd grade? So it's really cool to see their faces and to see like the joy that they have going through the same thing that I got to do about 15 years ago.
The Junior League of Lubbock, since its inception, has probably given back more than $5 million to the community of Lubbock, and over 45 agencies have benefited from those monies that we've raised. Just in the last year, we devoted over 15,000 hours to the Lubbock community in volunteer service. Today, our focus area is education, and we have our Food to Kids program where we feed children who have been identified as not having enough food over the weekends. In addition, we are educating children on nutrition through our Kids in the Kitchen programs, and we also have our newest project, Spark, which is a mentorship and leadership training program for 8th grade middle school girls. We want them to be excited about going to school, finishing school, and going on to college.
That was the year that we had the rummage sale. It was a tremendous undertaking, and Mary Miller was the chairman of it, as I remember. I just was the president, and I just, you know, I said, yes, that's right, Mary, just do it, whatever you want to do.
Well, the year that I was president, I think they had a difficult time getting someone to say yes, and finally when they got to me, I talked it over and had a few prayers about it and decided that I could do it. The thing I loved was the projects. We did Follies. Did you ever do Follies?
Oh, yes, I danced in them.
Right. I love the Follies.
It was a joyful experience, really, you know, throughout.
I wasn't afraid of anything after doing the league presidency.
Lubbock's always going to need the Junior League. The Junior League of Lubbock is the organization that other agencies go to when they have needs. It is an organization that when they see a job that needs to be done, it's going to get done.
Thank you, Lubbock. With your help, the Junior League of Lubbock puts the sparkle and shine back into our community.
We're so glad that the Junior League of Lubbock helped build this house for families like us.
Thank you, Junior League. Y'all are awesome.
Thank you so much, Junior League, for this clinic.
Thank you, Junior League of Lubbock, for making this clinic possible.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Junior League of Lubbock, for the Fire Safety House.
Thank you, Junior League, for the Fire Safety House.
I'm most honored. Thank you, Junior League, for helping me and my family through all this.